Hey there, it's your friendly school librarian, Ms. Pfeiffer, and I've got 3 new hot titles, young adult books, I want to tell you about. All 3 stories feature unlikely pairs, 2 people who don't seem like they'd fit together well at all. It could be star-crossed love like Romeo and Juliet, or 2 people from different sides of the track, or an oddly matched couple thrown together racing against time. The added twist is that the stars in these books come from diverse backgrounds, perhaps a different race or culture that you're not as familiar with, ones you wouldn't expect. So you get the added bonus of experiencing what it's like to be in totally different shoes. The first book is Pride by Ibby Zaboy. It's based on Jane Austen's book Pride and Prejudice, which was written way back in England during the Regency period. You might have read this for school, or more likely seen one of the movie versions. Keira Knightley starred in one of the more recent ones. The cool twist on this version is it's set in modern-day Brooklyn, New York, and instead of the Bennett family, we meet the Benitez family, who are part Haitian, Dominican, and African American. A new family is moving in across the street, and they have to be rich because they've rehabbed a whole apartment building into a mansion. Zuri Benitez and sisters, 4 of them, and her matchmaking mom are surprised when they see the Black Darcy family move in, including 2 fine-looking brothers the same age as Zuri and her older sister Janae. Wow, the rest of the females in her family are swooning. But Zuri only sees two proud young Black men as the first step in gentrifying her hood and certain to make the rents go up, pricing everyone she loves out of the neighborhood. She can't let that happen. But when she consults her voodoo practicing aunt about how to keep her sister Janae from falling for Ainsley Darcy, her aunt tells her she, Zuri, is the one who's about to experience love with a capital L. Zuri's response is no, no, no. She just wants to get into Howard University in Washington, D.C. and write poetry. Will this modern take on Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy follow the same path as the original book? Even if you haven't read P&P, Pride and Prejudice, you will still love Zuri's strong love of family and her home and how she stands up to the arrogant Darius Darcy, and for everyone else around her too. That's Pride by Ibby Zaboy. The second book is A Very Large Expanse of Sea by Tahira Mafi. Talk about fated love. If you're into Romeo and Juliet type stories, you will love this one. Have you ever felt like you're on the outside looking in and you'll never be part of the in crowd? Well, Sharon, a Muslim American teen, not only knows she'll never fit in, she's a target. But she refuses to stop wearing her hijab, her headscarf. It has special meaning for her. The problem is, it's just a year after 9/11 when the Twin Towers came down, and she's been attacked just for wearing a headscarf. Now her family's moved to a small town that's predominantly white, and she is sick of being a target. If she can just stay off the radar while she and her brother create their breakdancing team, the one fun break in her life, all will be fine, she's convinced. But then she's partnered in a class project with a tall, blue-eyed white boy named Ocean, and he persistently and earnestly wants to get to know her, the real her. Despite her misgivings, she can't help being intrigued and attracted. But hanging with him would only result in disaster, no matter what he thinks. Will their secret friendship really cause disaster when everyone finds out? Yep, you gotta read the book to find out. That's A Very Large Expanse of Sea by Tahira Mafi. And guess what? It's going to be made into a movie, so you'll want to read it before you see it. Meanwhile, the intensity just keeps ramping up in this third book, They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. Yes, you heard right. They Both Die at the End is the book title. You're probably thinking then, why bother? Because this buddy adventure is set in the not-so-distant future when a call from an organization called Deathcast tells you you're going to die today. The twist is that the two unlikely buddies just met today, the same day they each got the Deathcast call. They met up on the Last Friends app, where you can find a friend to be with you on your end day. Mateo can barely leave his Puerto Rican family's New York apartment. He's agoraphobic and may be scared of much more than that. He can't pass by a dead bird without burying it. On the other hand, Cuban-American Rufus hopes to say goodbye to his friends at the foster home before the cops catch up with him, because he got the Deathcast call beating up his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend. But these two unlikely friends make a pact to spend the last 24 hours or less of their lives together. Will they get in all their goodbyes and right all their wrongs? Or will they beat the system? Can a relationship of just one day make all the difference? It begs the question, how would you spend your last day on Earth? See how they choose to do it. Again, that's They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. And guess what? Side note, HBO is supposedly adapting this book into a series, so read it here first. And no surprise, all three books are available by request through your public library. If you have a Harney County Library card or a cool card from your school library, you can go online to the catalog. One of the easiest way to do that is to go to harneycountylibrary.org, and you'll see this Search the Catalog. And once you're there, you want to switch the library to the whole Sage system. So you go up to the very top, click that, and then type in what you're looking for. So one way to search would be to go and look up Pride, and you can see that it's there. So we just typed in Pride and Ibby Zaboy. Or if you are not sure how to do that or don't have access to a computer, you could call up your local library or stop in at your school library and ask the librarian, if it's your school library, that's me, and request the book for you. And guess what else? Ebook and audiobook versions are available through Harney County Library's Library to Go. So if you click here, Library to Go, you'll see a teen thing come up, and you'll see here's Pride, there's an ebook. They Both Die at the End, both ebook and audiobook. And same thing for A Very Large Expanse of Sea. So what are you waiting for? Go immerse yourself in these three different books. Each story is an out-of-control emotional roller coaster. You're going to feel your stomach dropping out in a few places, I promise you. No matter which one you pick up first, you'll find yourself thrown into a different culture and discover what it's like to be in another person's shoes. And maybe that it's not so different a world from yours when it comes to relationships and romance. Will you read Pride by Ibby Zaboy and visit Brooklyn? Get to know Sharon and Ocean in Small Town America? In A Very Large Expanse of Sea by Tahira Mafi? Or try to outrun death along with Rufus and Mateo in New York City, and They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera? Whichever one you pick, make sure stay hydrated and keep some Kleenex handy. It'll be a wild adventure. Until next time, happy reading. This has been a Hey Ms. Librarian production. Thank you.